Willem. Hän on hyvin tunnettu pilapiirtäjä Euroopasta, sarjakuvan tekijä myöskin, jolta on suomennettu 3 teosta, joista nyt tietenkään yksikään ei ole tässä paikalla, kun unohdin ne ottaa, mutta niitä löytyy esimerkiksi tuolta Turun sarjakuvakaupan ja sitten Liken tiskiltä on esimerkiksi Memento Mori-teos, joka on nimeltään suomeksi Täältä jostain, joka käsittelee sotaa ja natsi-Saksaa erityisesti. Sitten on tämä Seis täällä naureta, joka on pilapiirroskokoelma. Ja lyhyitä rivoja sarjakuvia käsittelevä varhaisteos, jota on varmaan aika vaikea löytää, tämä Naulan kantaa. Tällaiset kirjat häneltä on suomennettu. Ja tosiaan Willem on myös piirsi yli 40 vuotta Liberation-lehteen pilakuvia, poliittisia pilakuvia. Ja surullisenkin kuuluisaan Charlie Hebdoon, jossa hän onnistui sitten jäämään henkiin, toisin kuin valitettavan moni muu Charlie Hebdon pitkäaikainen avustaja. Mutta ihan kauan sitten Willem asuessaan meidän kotimaassaan Hollannissa, you were a member of the Bravo team. So could you tell us what kind of happenings and stuff did you do with the Bravo group?
Well, that started in 1965, and there were happenings in the streets in Amsterdam, and if you look back on it, it was innocent, playful, and for instance, there was turning around with people against tobacco, against smoking, and everybody had to do and then the police came. Because it was disturbing the order, and more and more of these things, and then slogans, and the slogans were forbidden, so they were completely white, without text, and that was also forbidden. That became more and more absurd, of course. Well, it lasted only 2 years, Provo, because there were other people who wanted to have a say in it, and there was ego against ego. You can imagine, yes.
And your cartoons were also something that the police didn't like and the people didn't like the one you did about the Queen as a prostitute.
Yes, she was the richest woman in the Netherlands, and she asked for a rise in her salary. That was also crazy. So I made that cartoon, yes. Yeah.
And then the police came looking for you, but they couldn't find you, so you went to the police station yourself.
I was living in a small town where I was at an art school, so now and then I came to Amsterdam, so I was unfindable. And I knew they were looking for me, and I wanted to travel around. I didn't want to be picked up at the border, so I said, hey, it seems that you're looking for me. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You paid the fine and everything?
Yes.
Okay.
Not very important.
Right. Then you moved to France. There was this student uprising and stuff in the end of the 60s. So how did you fit in with the French crowd?
Since the early 60s, I went now and then to France hitchhiking to show my drawings to the magazine Harakiri, because that was the magazine in the worst taste that I could find. And my drawings were not put down until '68, and then they said, we want a page for every month. Well, and then Cine, the cartoonist, I admired a lot. He put a drawing for me on the cover of his May '68 magazine, L'Enragé. And then I thought, well, I'm going to live in Paris.
Ah.
Yes.
So you fit in with the crowd?
More or less, yeah, yes.
Okay.
Because at school I was not very good, and I didn't learn French correctly. So I hardly understood what people were talking about, but I understood the drawings. Yes.
Which people, other artists, were there that impressed you the most?
Topor, for instance, Topor is Cine, and then a crowd of other people, Capu, Wolinski, and all the others.
Okay. And after Harakiri was banned, then came later the Charlie Hebdo, right?
That was a weekly, was banned, and it changed title, so the next week it was in the kiosk. Yes.
Yes. What was the atmosphere in the Charlie Hebdo crowd in the beginning? What kind of people went to do cartoons for Charlie Hebdo and comics and stuff?
It was chaos, and there was the director was Professor Cholon, and he was an ancient under officer in Vietnam. And also a bit a crook. And he could very well handle the banks, and he was sometimes a bit late in paying, but at the end it went well.
So, on those days, what kind of humor upset people the most? Was it like Harakiri did that story about Jacques Cousteau that was in his coffin with anchovies and stuff, and there was this political blasphemy and everything. Which do you think was the worst for the common people? Worst kind of jokes?
Well, for the ministry and the police, it was easy to take on if it was looked like pornography. There we can take you. And politics, no, that was they had to be more careful. Yes.
Okay. And then came the Liberation newspaper. How did you fit in the Liberation? Get in the Liberation?
That was Charlie Hebdo stopped because there were no more readers, and then the art director of Liberation asked me to make a weekly column about press and exhibitions and so. And afterwards, they asked me for a daily cartoon. Well, it's okay. But they asked me to give 2 IDs a day before 1 o'clock, and that went on for many, many years.
And they took the one that was not so evil or whatever.
I did one for about French politics and one about foreign politics and so on. Yes.
Well, okay. So and then 1 book per year or so.
Yes, something. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How about this? Did you? How do you relate with the censorship in overall? Do you think about?
I worked for papers where there was no censorship. Harikiri, Charlie Hebdo, Liberation. Everything was possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And also you did another books like about, how would we say, about horrible histories and stuff. Something you like.
Horrible histories. I made a book about traveling everywhere. Yeah, sure.
Yes. How about this one that is being published in Finnish about the Memento Mori?
Yeah.
What could you tell about that book?
Throughout the Second World War, I was born in 41, so I always heard stories about the war, and that crept in my mind until now. So I made jokes about that. Yes.
Why do you think that cartoons are more dangerous than just words?
Because a cartoon that strikes in 2 seconds, and then a page of words, people hardly read the whole article. And especially cartoons without words, they strike you. Yeah. If they are good.
Have you always been able to draw whatever idea you want?
I try to.
Okay, and you never, even after the happenings in Charlie Hebdo, you never felt fear or a threat, want to censor yourself?
No. Right after the killings in Charlie Hebdo, I was in Paris, and I bought my newspaper to read it in a cafe, and came a young man with a mask on, and said, "You got a bullet in your head," and so, "That's nice of you, thank you," and I went to the cafe. No, I was not really afraid. I don't look over my shoulder if there somebody's following me. But most of the people, they had guards behind them until now.
Yeah.
Yes. But I've never been on television, so people don't know my face.
Okay.
I hope.
Oh, yeah. You have done movies, haven't you?
Movies?
Yes, Julie Delpy, 2 Days in Paris.
Oh, yes, but that's innocent.
Okay, yes. I remember your couple of years ago when you came to Finland, I think the officials were more upset that you came here than what you were.
Yes, there was I think 1 or 2 protectors they sent behind me. Yes. I was in a cafe with my friend Heikki Pakkanen, and suddenly the man came out and said, "Get away from that window immediately!" Because there was somebody in the street who was telephoning, and when he saw a policeman, he disappeared, and that was could have been dangerous. Yes.
And then, I remember that. Then I was at the dinner with your wife and Heikki and others, and these 2 policemen from Finnish security police. I felt sad for them because they sat on the table next to the front door, and they were drinking water and reading the same newspaper, giving it to each other, and thinking that, bloody hell.
It's a hard job.
Well, anyway, you are not afraid, but how do you think has the world of cartooning has it changed much after the Charlie Hebdo stuff and nowadays anyway?
I think maybe not the cartoonists, but the people who employ them are afraid. Some cartoonists still have protection. They don't deserve it, I think. It's, maybe they think it's an honor to have it. Yes.
So now we, thanks to Heikki, we got the books there. The latest book is Z, and that's done after you retired from Liberation.
Yeah.
So how did this book came to be?
Well, I've become 80 years, and cartoons. It was or about COVID or about Macron, and became a bit boring. If you make 10 gags about COVID, then you have seen it. So I thought, well, at 80, that's a good moment to stop. It's a daily thing. And then came the Ukraine war. And so I did everything in Sarjakuvafestivaalit, then specialized more or less about it. And I thought it could be a good book. Because you draw to say something and to communicate. So in the paper, people are throwing them away, but the book that stays.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So you still follow politics?
Yeah, international, especially. Yes.
Yes.
Because those French ministers, most of them I don't even know by name now. Yeah.
And about here in Finland, we have the war in Ukraine every day in front of our eyes. So what did you think when first time that break out the war in Europe? What was your opinion about that?
Great danger for not only for Ukraine but for Europe, because I read a book where Putin said that in 2 days he could have Poland, Estonia, and everything. Well, that gives to think. Yes.
You've been following what Putin has been doing for many, many years, so it might not be such a surprise that he at least tried to do this operation in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about Donald Trump? That's a good answer. Anyway, yeah.
Well, I've seen night and day directly the attack on the Capitol on TV. That was surrealists.
Ah.
Yes. The guy with the
Yes.
wanted to hang my pants, and it seemed impossible. And he was behind it, and you must fight. And now here he's risking prison.
It's mad, but it's America. So how do you feel about politics in general nowadays? That you have been doing political cartoons for 40 years. So what things have changed then? Is anything better now than what was 40 years ago?
I don't think it is better because now it's more and more giving in to semi-fascist people, populists, and so in every country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been traveling a lot, especially in Europe, and you did one book about people in different countries in Europe. What's your opinion about Finland when you... This is a obligatory question, how do you feel about Finland? But anyway, how you went to see the local dance and how people are drinking and stuff. What do you think about Finnish nature, of metal nature?
They are nearly as normal as Dutch.
Yes. And any other European country, how do you felt about other people than French and Holland people? Where do you feel most like at home?
Well, France, of course, I live there, but I like Ireland. Ireland, yes.
Ireland, yes.
Yeah, because music.
Yeah. So, and your, what is your, now you're retired, but anyway, what is your working week like nowadays? Or is there, you draw when you want to draw, not because you have a deadline?
Every day I watch TV at 7 o'clock in the morning and have breakfast and walk half an hour to my atelier and town and newspaper, coffee in the cafe, and then start working.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
7 days a week.
Do you prefer one panel cartoons than comics? Which is better?
That depends. If you have a story to tell, you cannot tell it in one picture.
Yeah.
So in the weekly I have a fixed place, and if I have a long story to tell, it takes 3 or 2 weeks, a little more, yes.
Okay. If I remember correctly, you used in the start of your career, you did longer comic stories like albums, but nowadays only 2-3 page stories or so.
Yes.
Okay.
That was in the Harikiri time. I made some travels in the world, so I wrote in advance. Long story, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. The public, would you like to? Yeah, Severi?
Who do you look up to? Who is your inspiration in comics arts?
Oh, there are several. Crazy Cat, Robert Crumb, yes, there are many more. Yeah, Spiegelman, but maybe, yes, that's about it for the moment.
Second question. How did you in Earth meet one of our best comic artists, Bachmann? How did that happen?
That was, I think, when I was invited to the Kemi Festival, 1990, I think, and then the memorial voyage to Murmansk together with a whole bunch of people. Gilbert Shelton was also there. That was a funny trip, and we've met many times since then. And Heikki came to Paris to a couple of months, I think. Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting because if I remember, Heikki was an animation artist at first and didn't like comics so much at all, but nowadays it's, of course, he's a cartoonist too. So what do you discuss the most when you meet? About what shall we?
We don't discuss a lot because he talks all the time.
But you, yeah, yes.
If I may ask you a very personal question about your being artist, have you ever had a moment where you doubt your work, the art and the art that you are doing? Have you had a sort of period when you couldn't work, and how was that? And when, if ever it happened, how did it come? How did you live with that, and how did you overcome it? Or have you ever had a doubt about what you are doing? It's very personal. I'm sorry if you don't want to answer it.
No. I'll try to answer. I don't see myself as an artist, more as a journalist who must do his regular work. So there is no time to ask, do I find inspiration? Oh, you have to do puff. Yes, that's it.
And another question, it's totally different. What do you think about satirical cartoon today? How has it changed since COVID, since Ukraine, since...
Well,
if there is a change, and how will what place can it have in the day, in nowadays society, because everything that is happening seems to be so that, you know, even the journalists have a problem with it.
Yes, the cartoonist, satirist, the task is to shake people up. Shake them, to wake them up, and well, not so much to inform them, but like, hey, look what's happening. Yeah.
Is there something you wouldn't draw about?
I can't imagine. No. When you have pen in your hand, you are almighty. You can do anything.
How many books have you done so far?
Well, some are very small things, and actually 90 or something.
90.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there which books are one book that you're most proud of that you have done?
A book with about traveling all over the world. A book, of course, my last book.
Yeah, that's it. One you see.
Yes. Which is, for instance, for sale. Yeah.
Yes, at the liquor desk. Yes.
And a book with color drawings also. Yeah.
Oh.
How did the book with Helsingin Wilson, Päästö?
Oh, the little one.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did that come about? Can you tell us?
Well, Helsingin Wilson was in Paris, and we drank a lot together. And we said, why shouldn't we make a book together? Yes. And so we sent each other, because he went back to the States, and we sent each other pages, and he does that. Oh, then I sent him that. And then Etienne Robial of Futuropolis, he liked the idea, and we came there together to his place, to Futuropolis. Helsingin Wilson looked at him and said, top quality, top dollar. Well, that's American.
Yeah. Still about politics and politicians. So, is there any politician that about his or her opinions that you have liked? You didn't want to criticize, but some politician that you have liked about in any time of history.
Dead people like Olaf Palme, maybe. Yes. I've been in the cell of Mandela in South Africa also. Yes.
Yes. Those that have had great ideas and also could do something to them.
Yes.
Okay. So, is there something that has happened in your lifetime that you never thought that would happen, could happen?
No.
You believe everything is possible.
Everything.
Ah.
Oh. I found a beautiful wife.
Ah, yeah. From Norwegian. Yes. Okay, Paul?
Yes. Hello, Willem. I met you in Paris when you were the editor of Charlie Mensuel. I wanted to know how that experience was for you editing Charlie Mensuel. You did edit Charlie Mensuel, didn't you?
That was a brief period,
Okay.
and then I could place people I liked very much, but who didn't have a chance otherwise, like Nazario from Barcelona. And also a long story of Topor. Yes.
And you also had a column for a long time in Libération, I think, where you would chronicle the new releases, the new...
Yes.
That's a remarkable work in itself, I think.
Yes, now I do it in Charlie Hebdo,
Yes.
not every week, but in Libération it was every week. And that gave me the occasion to visit many exhibitions. We didn't have to eat because they gave a lot of drinks and ate in the openings of exhibitions. So that was very profitable.
Just one other question. Several veteran cartoonists are now sorting out what will happen to their archives. Art Spiegelman, for example, I was speaking with last week in New York, and he is preparing to find somewhere to take the archive, all of his work. Do you have any plans for what will happen to your archive of artwork?
Archive. All my drawings are in the National Bibliothèque de France.
Are they?
Yes, sure. They have it, but I keep the copyright.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good point that you have been following not only politics and stuff, but also nowadays and future cartoonists and comic artists. So, which are future or nowadays cartoonists we should follow more? Which do you prefer nowadays?
I don't know. I have to discover that.
Okay, but one example of whose books do you always are delighted when he or she does a new one?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know the answer. Any questions?
Okay.
What do you think about the modern digital media, internet and social media? Does it affect your work at all?
I don't follow the social media. I'm not internet man.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
So as there
purely paper.
because there nowadays this artificial intelligence and stuff, and it's I think how do you insult people in a digital age and some age?
Oh, that's it. Just now it's happening a lot with teenagers.
Oh, yes.
They are completely devastated by their social media.
Yes.
Yeah, driven to suicide.
It's horrible, but anyway, you see that there is still future for future pranksters with modern ideas, digital ideas and stuff. And you did the old way with paper and pen, but now they use digital and stuff.
Yes. Paper, it's just paper.
And it's just for certain people who can see the paper, but when it's on the internet,
it's very personal.
Yes, personal media, the paper, pen. So, okay, Nick, sorry.
I personally see your works as kind of a criticism of all the misdeeds that we people have done. Do you see that our mankind have any kind of hope?
Well, it seems bizarre, but I don't lose hope.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions?
Just
Yeah, Paul.
why is the book called Z?
Because the military special operation of Putin was called Z.
I comes from that.
Yes. And I don't know why he called it Z, but
Yes, they have very tall windows in Russia. We have noticed that in Finland. What is your opinion? How long this could go on for in Russia? This stuff, this is getting ridiculous. How does you think? This Putin's regime.
well, he has an endless reservoir of young people to, and the Ukrainians don't have that. They're all, half of them are wounded. As long as people can help them, they can fight it out.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Any questions? More questions? Yeah. Paul?
Yes, about Russia though, I think I read that many, or some people in Russia are objecting to conscription, the fact that the army now needs more soldiers and not everyone wants to be drafted into the army. Do you think there's hope of some kind of change, regime change in Russia? Some sort of uprising of some sort?
I don't think so.
It's just too controlled.
Yeah, it sounds racistic, but it's a Slavian mood, I think, to be together for the Holy Russia.
Exactly. Not to think of your individual freedom.
No.
Exactly.
So, if you had to draw Putin as an animal, which animal would he be?
I did it.
Okay, which was he?
Rat.
Oh. Okay. So yeah. Why a rat? Rats are quite nice, actually.
Yeah, right.
Of course. Yeah, but he's nice too. He can smile.
Yes. Yeah. Just don't go close the window with him. Okay, I think if there's no more questions, we can release. We have to signing, which is at the Turun Sarjakuvafestivaalit place, I think, at the main hall, or
Rosebud.
Rosebud.
Rosebud is
Oh, Rosebud first. Okay. Yes.
only they have at least set.
Oh, yes.
And the other one.
That's right.
On the table.
Yes.
So if you're looking for them, they are there.
Okay.
All right. There. But hey, Thank you very much.